Greg Tupper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, with the new head coach of the DeSoto Eagles, Coach Mike Robinson. Have you gotten used to being introduced as the new head coach of the DeSoto Eagles yet?
Yes, sir. It's really wasn't a big thing. I know some of the kids, a lot of the people in DeSoto. That's my home. I've lived in DeSoto for 16 years, so it's pretty awesome. And it didn't take too long for the acclimatization of the kids getting to know me and me getting to know them.
Yeah, and I know that this will seem like a dumb question maybe for some people, but why is this job so good for you? I've heard you describe this as close to a dream job and something you've really wanted for a long time. Why is this job such a great fit for you?
I believe the job is a fit for me because the job didn't take me to DeSoto. I made DeSoto my home, and so a lot of guys would have wanted to come to DeSoto for the job, and it's a great community, great place to live. And like I said, we've been there 16 years. As a coach, it gives you an opportunity to realistically have a chance to win a state championship. There's a rich tradition. Of course, with that rich tradition and what they accomplished 2 years ago, there comes a lot of expectations and a lot of pressure. So it's a job to where, I want the opportunity to try to step up and meet those expectations and do something for my hometown.
And this is a very different job from the one you left. North Mesquite, you did such great things there, and that was a build. You know what I mean? That was something there. This is something that is, in many respects, at DeSoto, it's built. It's here, and it's a maintenance. Is there a difference in how you're going to approach it from that regard, or is it just business as usual for Mike Robinson?
It's business as usual. I have a plan. Football is not broke, like you said. It's built, and that's what I told the kids on the first day. There's nothing wrong with DeSoto football. I'm not going to mess it up. But as far as the structure and how we do things and some of the mental aspects and life lessons training, and they're just going to see a different side of of a coach. Love Coach Peterman, and they did an awesome job. And I just want to show them that I can come in and love them just as much as he did and do things my way. But again, the football is the football.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's few brands out there like DeSoto football. It's nationally recognized as one of those great programs. I'm really interested in what's been the reaction from the community? What's been the welcome from the community?
It's been positive.
Yeah.
It has been real good. The support is there. The people are coming in asking what can we do? What do you need? And it's been overwhelming. I'm undefeated right now, so
everything's great.
Everything's good. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But right now things are good. Things are real good.
Well, it's a really, really cool opportunity, and we're really excited to see your Eagles. And I want to kind of get into a little bit of the nitty gritty. You guys are going to open up, head into Odessa Permian. You're going to play at Ratliff Stadium. You're going to play, in one of these cathedrals of football. I'm interested. What is a Mike Robinson DeSoto team going to look like? What is it that maybe you're going to hang your hat on?
Well, we're going to hang our hat on, of course, the discipline football. I don't care what kind of athlete you have. If your kids are not coached well and they're not disciplined, then you're going to be in trouble. An undisciplined athlete, an undisciplined team, and I'm not talking discipline as in attitude-wise. I'm talking about doing your job on the field. Do your job, work together. So, we have to be disciplined, do what we're coached to do. And so that's what you can expect to see from the team that I'll put on the field this year and in the future.
It's really exciting. We're really excited to see that. And, you mentioned it doesn't really matter what kind of players you got if they're not disciplined. Well, are there one or two guys in particular that you're really excited about for your team?
Yes. I'll tell you. We could possibly have the DFW Offensive Player of the Year.
Really?
He's been overlooked. I kind of smirk and laugh a little bit when I read the papers about who the breakout players that the Dallas Morning News think will be. But Shundarian Ward is special. He is very special. He's a quarterback. He's the younger brother of Dalen Ward, who's a running back out at Tech. But before I got there, there were some comparisons made between Shundarian and Sean Robinson. And
that's a name.
I'm telling you, this kid is special. He's very special. He did play in a few games last year, and just watching him this spring, it just kind of sends a chill down your spine. And so we're expecting a lot of good things out of Shundarian. And then on the defensive side, we have a linebacker named Anye Opabo, and he's going to be more of a hybrid strong safety type player in college, but right now he's playing linebacker for us. So those two kids I'm expecting to have breakout great seasons.
Realignment's come and gone. UIL, in your part of the world, you're never going to get an easy district.
No.
They certainly didn't do you any favors. You add in a team like Mansfield, you get 3 5A promotions as well, 3 pretty solid. When you take a look at what you're up against in District 7 6A, from your perspective, what are you seeing as far as what this district looks like?
It looks like what I've had to do in the past.
That's true.
Being in North Mesquite, it was always the District of Doom with Longview, John Tyler, Rockwall Heath, Mesquite, Horn. So, there's some great football. So if you had to just flip a coin, if you'd had to pick a district that you want to be in, you might as well just flip a coin, because everyone's district is tough. No one's going to have an easy path to the playoffs. But, we just want to maintain the not expectations, expectations, but we just want to keep the program at the level that it's at. Continue to be DeSoto football. Don't worry about everyone else, worry about yours. And when we get to particular teams, then we'll get ready for that team. So, you look at the district, it's like it's one at a time. And so that's the way we're going to approach it. We're not going to look back at the schedule, and say, oh, man, look at this. Well, it's one game at a time, and that's the way we're going to approach it.
Yeah, it's the only way to do it, especially, but at the same, one of the things that I think is so remarkable about this district is that, every game is going to feel like a playoff game.
Yes.
There's a lot of there are 6 teams that are good enough to make the playoffs in that district minimum, and so every game's going to feel like a playoff game, and that's that might make you a little bit
it makes me nervous.
I'm telling you that from from a neutral perspective, I'm I'm excited.
Yeah.
I get to be excited about it.
It makes me nervous, but again, it's we're DeSoto.
Yep.
And as much as I sit and look at the schedule and look at the Mansfields and the Waxahachie's and the Cedar Hills and the Grand Prairies, I'm pretty sure they're looking at the schedule and looking at DeSoto.
That's exactly right.
So, if any one of us takes each other lightly, then that's the game you're going to lose.
You're exactly right.
That's the game you're going to lose. Again, you've said it twice. Every game is a playoff game. And so if you don't bring your A game that night, you're going to lose. Yep. I firmly believe that.
It's Mike Robinson here from DeSoto. Coach, I want to ask you, we're sponsored by our friends at Dairy Max. I want to ask you about nutrition. You mentioned discipline a little bit earlier, and that's always been your calling card. At every stop you've had a very disciplined team. How does that kind of trickle down to what you're telling your kids to eat, how to fuel their bodies, and how to be ready, how to get themselves ready for a game? Because, 17 weeks, 16 games, which is the goal. What do you tell your kids to make sure that they're ready for that?
I'll tell you what, that's something that I haven't had to communicate that much at DeSoto. The training staff is awesome. The kids, they already know. The training staff has things in place. They were talking nutrition, they were talking hydration, what not to eat, what to drink. Troy Smith is our head trainer, and she does an awesome job. She has a great staff. I'm telling you, it's one of the best high school training staffs in the state. And it's just not treating and taking care of injuries. It is the aspect of nutrition. And they do that. But, we'll talk to the kids. Again, it's not about hot fries. And, and when I talk to them about sodas, most of the kids don't drink sodas, and we're already preaching hydration. So dairy products, I learned in Mesquite, is one of the best recovery drinks that you can have. A lot of people think it's Gatorade. Gatorade is nice, but dairy products are the natural recovery products.
Well, and it's funny because that kind of goes back to another thing that we talked about a little bit earlier about the difference maybe between this job versus last job is that at North Mesquite, you have to build that, and you have to get those things in. It sounds like this is another thing that's already in place at DeSoto, and something that, you're going to have your own challenges, but that's not going to be one of them. You've got these things in place that maybe weren't in place at other places that you've been.
Yes. It's in place. It's great. There's a food truck every morning before workouts. There was a food truck at the school at 6:45, and it gave the kids an opportunity to eat breakfast. So the school district is in 100% on nutrition to make sure that our kids eat, and and it also it helps us to build muscle mass.
You're exactly right. It's Mike Robinson, and now he's got to spin the Dick's Sporting Goods wheel of questions. DickSportingGoods.com. And Coach, I promised you before, there's nothing on this. There's no question that's going to get you fired here. But we may be asking you about Mexican food or something like that. So give this thing a spin. You're legally obligated to answer the question.
Legally obligated.
Mike Robinson from DeSoto spinning the Dick's Sporting Goods wheel of questions. And it's going to land on. All right. This is perfect. You're a new school guy. You're a young man. Is there someone, if you played a team in week 2 who ran the wishbone, do you have somebody on your staff that could game plan for it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Who could do it?
Well, Todd Moody.
You think so?
Yes, sir. He's from the old school. He's a West Texas guy. He runs the old Permian 29, and that's my defensive coordinator, of course. And he was the interim head coach at Euless Trinity right after Ed Hickman. Of course, he was Ed's defensive coordinator. So he's not one of those young guys who doesn't know the philosophy behind the wishbone. And so in saying that, we're getting ready to play Permian, who runs the option, and we were preparing this spring because, we're going to have to face a variation of the wishbone. And so, we have an idea of how to stop it. And the thing is, your kids have to be disciplined to play this defense.
Yep.
Because when you try to do someone else's job, you can hang it up.
It's over.
It is.
They're going to get there. And I know you're a spread guy. Have you given any thought to maybe going old school and just putting this team in the wishbone? I think a DeSoto team in the wishbone, I'd watch that.
I think you limit your quarterback.
Probably true.
I really do. I think you limit your quarterback, especially if you got a great quarterback that can run the RPO, and which is another variation of the option. So, but no, with athletes we have, I don't think we could keep people happy if we're sitting there with 3 running backs, and we've got kids that can play out on the edge and can run. And so to keep our advantage athlete-wise, it'll be best that we spread the ball out.
Well, we're excited to see you spread the ball out there at DeSoto. Mike Robinson, the head coach, the DeSoto Eagles. Coach, really appreciate it. Congratulations on the game.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.